Today our topic is Hog Wild 1996, and we'll get there. But first, it has kind of become a thing on this show. It's customary that anytime I bring on a guest, I always ask about their history with Jake. I have no idea about your history with Jake, so I'm fascinated to hear.
Oh gosh, Jake and I go way back to Sherry Martell days.
Ah,
Yeah,
I know he thinks really
Sherry,
highly of her.
he did, he has, and I know he always will. Yes, and of course, my days with Sherry. That's another whole podcast. It was an honor to work with her and to actually come in and you know go over and take over fill her boots for the AWA. However, fast forward, her and I became really good friends and close again. I am so glad that we reconnected. And I think I was first introduced to Jake was around that time. So unfortunately, when I really got to know Jake, was I think him and I did a show overseas with, wasn't it with John Arezzi?
Oh, okay. So that would have been around 93, that John Arezzi tour.
I think so. So you need to Google and double check that too.
Okay.
And because I think it was for John Arezzi because Jake and I were overseas, and that son of a bitch. Like I was in my dressing room, and back then it was just like a room with just walls and it had pipes. And I don't know if we were in the Philippines or where the hell we were. But the Bushwhackers are there, Greg the Hammer Valentine. And I was like, in my room dressing, and all of a sudden I hear the door open, and there's Jake standing there laughing his ass off, threw his snake in there and shut the effing door. And I was like, oh, hell no. And here I am, tits and ass, bust ass. And I'm like, what the, was he going to like, what the fuck? And so you can hear everyone out there just, probably busting ass laughing. And I'm sure it was funny. It was, you got to admit. I mean, those kind of ribs are the shiznit. So here I am, and flat walls. There's no bumps in these walls. They're flat walls. I climbed the wall. I climbed the wall to get rid of that snake, and I was climbing up that wall, and I got up there, and I was hanging by the pipes. And I'm like, Jake, you son of SOB, you SOB, blah, 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 blah. And, and I'm like, damn it. And now he's laughing. All of a sudden I look, the snake is crawling up the freaking wall.
Oh
the
my
wall.
God.
Like, how does a round snake slither up a wall? And here he comes. And I'm like, all right. I just start screaming. Oh, that was it. He came in and he got the fuck. Oh, it was, yeah. Hi, nice to meet you, Jake. And so, and then that's when I started to get to, really know Jake and all his shenanigans. So, yeah, we became friends and we would talk, and, he was up and down the road doing his stuff. And he was the man is good. He's a master at his craft when it comes to psychology in the ring. Watching him and the psychology, there's a guy that didn't have to be high flying. He could do one move and tear down the house.
Yep. Or even tease the move, which we saw all
Yes.
the time. He would just do the finger in the air, and everybody would
Yes.
just
And
lose their minds.
everyone would know what that is, right?
Yes.
They knew what was coming. That's the great old school. When people say, oh, it's old school, times change and stuff. But again, we need some of that